everybody. Welcome into the Hop.
Yo!
Steven and Gabe back with you for another week of beer drinking. What's going on, everybody? My name is Steven. That is Gabe right over there.
That's me. That's me. What's
and
up?
We are a craft beer podcast. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome in, settle in, get nuzzled, because we're about to make craft beer the most fun it's ever been.
We're gonna make it epic. Grab a beer, grab a chair if you want to sit, and please come join us. Yeah, really pumped for this one. Well, we've had this one on the books for a little while. We are heading back to the home state of Connecticut, and we've got Alvarium Beer Company. So pumped. Out of New Britain. Steven, if you're on YouTube, Steven is there. That brewery space looks incredible. The neon lights, the honeycombs, the chair. They've got so many chairs. It's insane.
This is a Homer episode for us because we're back in Connecticut, and it's a IPA heavy episode. So if you're an IPA person, keep listening, because this one, we've got some good options for you. Alvarium is pretty well known for those New England IPAs. So if that's your thing, the juicies, the hazies, the crazies, the Citra Mosaic types, this one's going to be one for you.
The fun guys, as we call them.
If you want to engage with us, I'm just telling you that I thought it would be a good idea to put a mint in right before we started recording this. So I'm trying to work through that.
All right, good. So we're going to watch you on the struggle bus. I get it. It works.
That's what I'm dealing with. Okay, if you want to follow us and connect with the show, we are on Instagram and Twitter, of course. We are at the HO Podcast. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. As Gabe mentioned, we are a video podcast. We are smiling live on screen every single week. So if you want to see us, see the breweries that we're visiting, see the can artwork, see the beers that we're drinking, what they look like in the glass, you can do all of that on YouTube. Subscribe and click that bell. You'll get a notification every week when a new episode drops. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, Google, and wherever you get your podcasts and wherever you're listening to us. If you could give us a rate and review, we would really appreciate it. It helps the show. It helps us make the show better for you, so we really appreciate your feedback. And if you want to connect with the show, you can hit us up on the social media, or you can send us an email. We are thehopod@gmail.com, and we love connecting with everybody. We love the conversations we have going with the people who reach out to us, so please connect with the show. We're here for you.
Let us know what breweries to hit up next. Let us know what breweries to repeat. Let us know where we can get some dope glassware. I've been seeing a bunch of cool glasses all over the internet and the social medias. We have some good stuff of our own, but I would love to expand my glass cabinet, if you will. So if there's a good company or there's a good shipping service, other than Amazon, we know about Amazon, but if you got any suggestions, send them our way.
Amazon? What's that?
It's this thing that does this thing. I don't even know, man. It's weird.
All right. Update for the people. The mint is pretty much gone. Should we do some beer news, Gabe?
I mean, twist my arm. I guess so.
Beer news.
He's going to pop another mint in a few minutes. Kicking things off with the news and notes. Kings and Convicts Brewing Co., which is the San Diego headquartered owner of Ballast Point, is making some moves. They are closing their Chicago space, and they're opening a new space in San Francisco. The plan was originally announced by the former owner, which was Constellation Brands, back in 2018, but was halted in 2019 before the company's sale. It's expected to open up at the end of the year, which is really exciting. We love when there's a new space opening up. The San Francisco space will be equipped with a 3-barrel research and development brew house with 4 3-barrel fermenters and 2 3-barrel bright tanks enclosed in glass for public viewing. We love hearing stuff like this. This is like the nerd in us talking, but here we are. The company also announced that they will be permanently closing the Point Kitchen and Tap Room in the West Loop, which is near Chicago. Kings and Convicts is based in Illinois and heavily invested in Chicago, but they decided moving forward, this was their best point to head back to California.
Well,
California.
So Ballast Point is closing in Chicago. Kings and Convicts is staying. So it makes sense because Kings and Convicts is already based in Chicago, and Ballast Point had a taproom in Chicago and in California. But Ballast Point has always been based in California. So basically, now this new ownership, Kings and Convicts, is moving Ballast Point. They're refocusing them back in California where they belong. Right. And then Kings and Convicts remains heavily focused in Illinois. It really has nothing to do with Kings and Convicts other than that they happen to own Ballast Point. But it makes sense. It makes sense for the brand, and personally, I think it's a positive move for them. I think it moves Ballast Point more into the craft world than they had been under Constellation. So
we're hoping for an upscale in beer development at the research center and whatnot and things like that. So we're hoping for that. The construction of they're hoping to do approximately 12,000 square foot taproom and kitchen, 1,500 square foot of outdoor patio space. So let's go visit.
That'll be available come the end of the year, hopefully.
Dope.
So look out for that. You Californians, I will be among you.
I was about to say, you're probably the happiest out of everyone.
Hey, I will happily drive up to the Bay Area for some Ballast Point. Moving on, Kentucky has made some beer legislation moves. Governor Andy Beshear has signed Senate Bill 15 into law. This is a Kentucky law that will allow microbrewers to sell and deliver up to 2,500 barrels of product to any retailer rather than requiring these microbrewers to work through a distributor. So the term microbrewer is key here. This law only applies to brewers producing less than 50,000 barrels per year. It's expected to be a game changer for microbreweries. It allows for a more level playing field, and it does put Kentucky on the list with the 39 other states that currently allow this. It makes sense, and it's something that really helps microbrewers. These distribution laws are kind of antiquated. They've been in place since Prohibition.
They're kind of all over the place, to be honest with you.
Yes, and a lot of them have been in place since Prohibition, and it was, to prevent monopolies on beer back when there were less beer options. But now, the beer scene has obviously exploded in ways people back then could never have imagined. So it makes sense, and it allows microbrewers to get their product into retail stores without having to work through a giant distributor or compete with giant distributors in that way. So it's good. The state legislature passed the law earlier this month. Andy Beshear just signed it into law. They also passed a bill that will allow the continuation of to-go alcohol sales, which was initially a thing because of COVID. So that's something I've been kind of wondering about is, how much are we going to see these? COVID sucks, but there have been little things that I'm like, I'm into that. For instance, you can go out to a restaurant and walk out with a margarita in your hand or something, or a beer. So there's certain things that I'm like, well, we've gotten this far. Maybe we just keep these. So Kentucky has made moves in that direction.
Yeah, that's very cool to see. And finally, going off of the distribution snowball here, the Iowa brand Toppling Goliath is expanding distribution to Arizona and Texas. They are partnering with Scout Distributing. This is big just because they are Iowa's largest craft brewery, and they are known for making barrel-aged IPAs and stouts. Put it in a barrel.
Bang! Exclamation point!
Put it in a barrel with Gabe and Steven. The brewery's distribution is now up to 30 states with the addition of Texas and Arizona. So if you're in Iowa and you can get this beer, go get it. If you like the beer, but you're in Texas or Arizona, congratulations. You're doing something right.
Can I just say for the record, this is, I think, the third week in a row that you have brought up the state of Iowa. What's going on, Gabe?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I gotta go visit. There's something in the air just whispering Iowa to me. I don't know.
You just if your first trip post COVID is
we're going to Cali. Screw you guys. I'm going to Iowa. What?
Oh man. Okay. Well, I have
Someone's
a
got
toast.
a toast.
If I can find the music. Okay, here we go. Hit me with it. All right, so Alvarium Brewing is very much about industrialness, making things with their hands, all that kind of stuff. So we'll get into that. But so I figured, what better way to toast to them than to one of the poets of industry, Walt Whitman. So here we go. Poem by Walt Whitman, bastardized by Stephen Humes. Here we go. I hear America singing, the varied carols I hear, those of mechanics, each one singing his as it should be, blithe and strong, the carpenter singing his as he measures his plank or beam, the mason, the boatman, the deckhand, the shoemaker, the hatter, singing as he stands, the delicious singing of the mother, or of the young wife at work, or of the girl sewing and washing, each singing what belongs to him or her and to none else. The day what belongs to the day. At night, the party of young fellows, robust, friendly, singing with open mouths their strong, melodious songs. And I'll reiterate, I heavily bastardized that poem. I just don't want to get sued.
That does make a lot of sense for this specific brewery. So well done, and we'll connect those bridges later. But very good, Walt Whitman or Walter White, depending on which initials you're looking at.
Ooh, spoiler alert! Let's drink some beer.
Yeah.
What is up first, Gabe?
This is called the Platinum OG. It is a New England IPA, and look how sexy that is. It is clocking in at 6% ABV, no IBUs to speak of on the SRM chart. It looks very straw yellow now. Online, I have to be honest, looking at all the photos, I was like, that looks like
milk.
Kind of though,
yeah,
really. It kind of looks like very like whitish, and I was like, maybe this is the first beer that we're gonna have. That's gonna be like a 2 or a 3.
I do think it's around there. It's very light. It
very is like it on the camera. Obviously, it looks a little lighter. It's a little darker in my hand in front of me, but yeah, I mean it's in the single digits for sure on the SRM.
I mean, I would easily put it at a 3 and maybe even a 2. It's not the off-white color that I was seeing from some people on the beer social medias, but
oh man, yeah, I was like, they look like they're drinking milk.
I know, but it is very light straw color, pale yellow, very opaque and hazy. You cannot see through it at all. Very much a New England IPA. Absolutely.
Beer Advocate has yet to review it. Untapped gave it a 4.03. Untapped coming through with the ratings. That wasn't for a drop.
Did you want to drop?
I was just being annoying.
This beer is named for weed.
Hilarious. Hilarious.
It's named after the cannabis strain, Platinum OG. It uses Citra and Azacca hops, quote, bringing sweet orange juiciness coupled with just enough orange rind and pith character to keep things interesting. And the can says, this is the stickiest, dankest, and most potent 16 ounces of Platinum OG you can have on you without getting hit with federal jail time. So, it's very much named for weed.
I thought that was hilarious when I read about it, but yeah, apparently this is a good one. So I'm very interested in this. Pouring it, keeping it away from my face. I was like, IPA hops.
Oh yeah,
there they are. They're gonna mess us up in the best way possible. Up front,
nice head retention too. I mean, it's got it's kind of hard to see on the camera here, but it does have a solid retention to it. Pretty clean in the glass, it seems like so far, but we'll see.
Citrus, orange, a little bit of tangerine off the smell. That rind is perfect description of it.
Yeah, and then some sort of some mango or some tropical stuff in there. I would probably call it mango as opposed to maybe pineapple, but I would probably say mango, and that's probably coming from those Azacca hops. They tend to be sweeter than the sort of classic citrus of Citra.
Yeah,
So,
I would lean more toward mango myself, but it's all there. It's like I said, the hops are there. I feel like the fruity notes come forward first, and the hops are in the background, like sips. When you sniff it, like for the second or third time, you'll get those hops. It's a little bit of that earthiness.
The sort of spicy sort of quality that lets you know it's gonna have a little bite to it.
Get ready. Before we taste it, the brewery described this, or not the brewery. I think I read a review that described this as OJ to the dome. I don't know what that means, but I'm here for it and I'm ready for it.
I think we're about to find out. Let's drink some New England.
Cheers.
From New England.
Classic. That's the first word that comes to mind. OG makes sense. It's just a straightforward classic IPA. I feel like the fruity notes are more in the nose than they are in the taste, but they are there. I feel like on the smell, it was like fruity notes and hops, and I feel like on the taste it's a little different. The hops I feel like are a little bit stronger here.
So for me, I'm still getting a lot of fruit, but it's what I'm missing is the Azacca sweetness that I got on the nose. Like I mentioned the mango and the pineapple, and then when I drank it, I didn't taste that at all. It was heavily Citra hop. It was heavy orange, tangerine, clementine, all of that, grapefruit peel, all of that sort of bitter citrus thing, heavy that.
I would agree with that, yes.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's a classic New England, like you said. OG, absolutely true to the style. But it is definitely heavy on the citrus side of things. So it's juicy. I mean, it's that's what it's supposed to be,
Yeah, I really like it. I feel I don't think I can say it's an easy sipper. I think it's easier than most IPAs. It's not, it's the back end taste. It's definitely taste medium to full bodied, but the carbonation is more medium on the lighter side. It's not going to be like a huge bite going down like, oh man, but you're definitely going to be able to sip it a little bit easier than other IPAs that I've had before, in my personal opinion.
Yes, I think it's full flavored, like you said, full bodied, but there's no booze character here. There's not a lot of hop bite to it. It's very balanced, very sort of, I wouldn't call it, it's not crushable per se. It's an easy drink. I mean, it's an OG IPA, New England style IPA. Easy. My dad would love this. You know what I mean? Like, it's right up the alley,
Yeah, I think it's fun and fresh for people like us and our tastes. I mean, this is, I think, right up our alley as well. And I like it. And I think the smell is more fruity for me, which is interesting. I'm not getting a lot of the fruit off the taste.
Like I said, on the smell, I got more tropical notes than I did when I took a sip. When I took a sip, it was more classic citrus notes. Like the Citra was dominating that, as it tends to do. I mean, Citra. I'm just so tired of Citra, but that's what it does. I mean, that's why people love it so much, because it's classic. You cannot go wrong with it. It is going to deliver on citrus notes, and when you're making a juicy IPA, that's exactly what you want. So that's why people love it so much. I am tired of it just because I see it everywhere.
Yeah,
but if you're making a beer called OG and it's like, hey, we're known for New England IPAs and we're making the OG, like this is, beer, like Brewers Association guidelines, New England IPA, right here. There it is.
100%,
in a glass.
yeah.
You know,
And what's bold is if you're gonna call it I want to know, did they call it the Platinum OG before or after they tasted it? Because to call something the OG and then make it is very bold.
well, they just named it that for the weed.
That too, I guess.
So
So who's smoking at the brewery?
I don't know, but this brewery they have two things really came to mind when I was looking into this brewery and their sort of identity, which I feel remiss as a Connecticutian that I've never been here, but I never have. But two things came to mind for me. One was a distinct sense of humor, hilarious dudes, comedy on the cans, comedy on the website, a great Instagram, and just really funny people. And then industry, like I said, I mean, they, you can see the taproom behind me if you're watching on YouTube.
Oh my
and
God.
They make a point of saying they built it by hand. They built the bar. You can read about it and read about what kind of beams they put in there and stuff.
What metals they used and what equipment. I was like, wow, they're really not sugarcoating this at all.
If you're a Home Depot dude,
oh yeah,
this is up your alley.
Yeah, but I mean the photos just look incredible. I mean, looking up the brewery and stuff, like the neon lights and the honeycomb ceiling lights and all the tables and chairs, I just saw a lot of purple and yellow, and I thought this would be a great Los Angeles Lakers bar.
That's a great point. My home
LeBron.
team, my champions.
Yeah. Okay.
New Britain is a part of Connecticut that I don't really know how to say where it is. It's kind of it's up near Hartford, and then you lost me. It's that direction, but I don't know from there.
I can't remember the last time I was in the area.
It is a city that it's a manufacturing city. It's a city dominated by industry or manufacturing, or it used to be anyway. And so that's a big part of the town's history and identity, and consequently, it's a big part of this brewery's identity. It makes a lot of sense. The term Alvarium is Latin for hive, but it comes from New Britain's motto, which is Industria implet alvare et mele fruter, I think.
That was great.
Probably not the way you pronounce it, but it's a dead language, so who cares? But it translates to industry fills the hive and enjoys the honey.
Yeah, I thought that was one of the coolest things, finding out about the Latin translation, and it made sense with all the honeycombs and their logo. For if you're on YouTube, you can see they got the beehive as their official logo, and somewhere on this can, come on down for a pint and a crisp high five. Wait, no, that's not it.
And a crisp high five. Yeah, I read that earlier though, and I was thinking oh yeah, this can is pre-COVID.
Well, I was just gonna say I was gonna make a connection with the honeycomb, and that doesn't. But at the same time, come on down for a pint and a crisp high five sounds good to me.
No, but like you said, it's in the logo and it's in everything that they do. And if you can kind of see up here where I'm pointing on YouTube, the lights in there are honeycombs. They're designed to look like honeycombs, which is
cool.
So cool. So it's a big part of them. Bees, honey, industry come together. New Britain, Alvarium.
And they're not that old. They opened in 2017.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Look at the space. I mean, holy crap. And I don't know if these three guys were, I don't know if they were carpenters before this, or if they were just let's get our hands dirty, but they did the damn thing.
They were definitely brewers before this, and I can't tell you exactly where, but I know at least some of them were. It was founded by Brian Bugnacki, Chris DeGasero, and Mike Larson.
And they call Brian the Bug Man.
Yeah, they all. This goes back to the humor. They call Chris the part-time hunk and full-time chunk.
Oh, love it.
I hope he's a big dude. That would be hilarious.
Right? He's scrawny as hell.
Brian's the sales and taproom manager. Chris is the head brewer. Mike is the operations mechanical engineer and, quote, all-around brewery MacGyver.
My man.
So, yeah. So It's a place that definitely is known for IPAs and New England IPAs. They acknowledge, their fan base is really into hazy New England IPA styles. Of course, we're in Connecticut, although anywhere in America, really, people lose their mind over that.
Even on the California side, people are New England.
Yep.
It's like, all right.
Yeah.
But for us, we're so used to it. So
the thing is, though, like Alvarium is a place that does it really well. So, if you're gonna have a New England IPA, which it's nothing, again, there's nothing wrong with the style. It just doesn't blow us away because we've had it so much. But if you're gonna have one, you might as well have one from Alvarium or, Trillium Treehouse. Name your big IPA house here.
Yeah.
And that's not to say all Alvarium does is IPAs, but you might as well have them from a place in New England that's doing them well.
Right. Absolutely. Because it'll taste good. It'll check all the boxes for you. And this brewery is dope. We can't say it enough. Their abbreviation is ABC, Alvarium Beer Company. It's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I read that and I was like, oh, look at that. That's something new.
And there is an ABC Brewing in New York, I think.
I believe there is. Yes.
Artistry through industry. That's Alvarium Beer Company. So it's founded on the principle of revitalizing a historical city, New Britain, with the mighty power of some kick-ass beer. They say their brewery is not focused on mass production. Instead, they want to create an ultra-communal taproom where people of all types can unite under the flag of righteous craft beer. Amen. And to that point, I don't think you can get either one of... Well, you can get the... I don't know if you can get the platinum right now. Can you? Do you know?
I don't think platinum, you can. Last time I looked, it was on tap. I believe you can get it.
Whoops.
So definitely check it out. It's very good. And I mean, how can you miss this can? I mean, look at that. It's sexy.
Yeah.
But they have... We'll get into what they got later. But I mean, beers on beers on beers on beers. Oh my god.
Do you want to offer some final thoughts? I'm really excited about the next one that we're going to.
Just because of the name. Yeah. I really like it. I think it is a very straightforward IPA. I think OG is perfect for the comedy side of the name, but also for the fact that it is just an OG IPA. It's very flavorful. It's 6%, so it has that little bit of bite without making you, feel too full or anything. For the IPA lovers, get into it because you will like this.
New England IPA lovers, this is about as New Englandy as you get. I mean, look, you cannot see through it at all. It's classic. It's juicy. It's Citra. It's absolutely not blowing me away at all, but it's not supposed to. So that's the point of it.
Yeah, it does its job. It's, I want an IPA.
Yes.
I want something to chill with. Boom, this.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm watching TV. I can't think about the beer. See, I've brought this up on the show before. I call those event beers when you have a beer. And those are the beers I love because they blow me away.
Think about it.
Yeah, but a lot of times I just can't handle that. Sometimes I'm watching The Crown. I'm too invested mentally already, like trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. I can't think about my beer.
What's her name? Olivia
Colman.
Olivia Colman, my girl. Love her. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway. That's a tangent we're not going on. But so this is a perfect beer for that. It's a classic New England style IPA. The only criticism I have is that I wish the Azacca was more present in the taste, because it comes through on the nose and then you drink it and you're like, oh, there goes that tropical stuff. But that's okay. Citra, there's nothing wrong with Citra. Other than that, it's boring.
Yeah, other than the fact that we drink Citra beers pretty much every single time we pick up a beer. So it's nice to get into the new stuff. And one last thing about the brewery, they have dogs welcome. They have a patio area with backyard games and whatnot, obviously, once it's safe to do so. Huge open space. And the only question I have for us, Steven, is why the hell haven't we gone yet?
And the only answer I have for you, Gabe, is my schedule's wide open. Come back to Connecticut.
I gotta be honest. When we first talked about doing this brewery on the podcast, I don't know why, for some reason my brain went California. Got it. And then when I looked into it and I said, "It's in our backyard. Are you kidding me? What the hell?"
Yeah.
Whoops.
The reason that we chose them, well, there's a lot of reasons, but the one that caught my eye is the one that we're about to do. So, without further ado, I say we grab beer number 2.
Let's do it.
So that I can talk about it.
Yeah. All right, let's get it.
Okay, so number 2 is the Honeyshot New England NEIPA with Citra and Wildflower Honey. Now, all right, it's 8.2% ABV.
Shit.
We don't
I forgot
have
about that.
Oh yeah, it's a NEIPA, all right.
Damn it.
We don't have the IBUs. It's got an 88 on Beer Advocate, a 4.11 on Untapped. Now, the reason I picked it up straight up is because of this can art. It's
incredible.
Adults only, XXX. And I don't know what inspired that.
If you have a dirty mind, Honeyshot sounds like something else.
And to that point, since you teed me up so perfectly, before we do anything else,
Steven,
allow me to read. Well, first of all, from the brewery, they said Honeyshot is loaded with wildflower honey and massive shots of citra hops throughout the boil and dry hop, soft, sweet, with a finish of tropical fruit and delicate honey sweetness. Now, this is from the can. I couldn't make this up if I wanted to. Also, as I was reading it today, and I was like, I'm going to read this. The more I read it, I was like, can I read this?
Yes.
But I'm going to do it anyway because it's tagged explicit and who gives a fuck. So here we go. From the can, with a beer this sweet, we had no problem pumping loads of citra and wildflower honey into that thirsty boil kettle. We were spent. The kettle bubbled happily over the brim, and the taproom voyeurs kept pounding away in ceaseless satisfaction. Does that get you sticky? Well, why don't you ease the grip on that thick 7-inch vessel of nectar you have in your hand before you pop the lid prematurely? Gabe, don't fuck it up. Let us know when you're ready for another round. And don't forget to savor the flavor, honey. And it has that attributed to Dirk Sweet Beef, the brewery hard body.
All I have to say is, that's what she said.
I almost got through it without laughing.
It was the way you were reading that thick 7-inch vessel. Like you just,
clearly
God.
that's what they intended. I'm not
nightmares about
I'm
you
just
reading the beer can.
I'm reading the cues that were given to me, okay? I'm working incredible. Off their energy.
This goes back to the comedy aspect of these guys. Like, this is so funny. Like, I remember when I first saw the can, I was like, adults don't like, oh, okay. Like, that's, it kind of looks, you know what it kind of looks like? It kind of looks like a poster from like the 50s, like if like a burlesque show.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure that's the point.
Yeah, but, and then you read the fine print and you go, oh.
Anyway, let's drink her.
It looks like, obviously on camera it looks a little lighter, but in front of me it kind of looks like dark orange juice.
Yeah, it's a little bit lighter than the last one we were drinking. It's still sort of pale yellow. It's still very, very hazy. And I just want to note the honeycomb bees on my glass. Come on, Steven.
Killing
Theme
it.
appropriate.
Theme appropriate. Good for you.
It's from another brewery, but it works.
Well, they don't need to know that.
Exactly. White foam, decent retention, good lacing throughout the glass. Again,
I mean, yeah, that head retention isn't going anywhere.
This looks like this looks like a level up from the last one we were drinking. Like if the last one we were drinking is Squirtle, this is Blastoise. You know what I mean?
And once again, you've just come through in the best way. Because he's the best starter.
I forgot what the middle one is, but it doesn't matter.
Wartortle. Come on.
It doesn't matter. You don't see him for very long. It's Squirtle Blastoise. You spend a long time as Squirtle, and you spend forever as Blastoise. Wartortle that's a weird middle ground. What's the middle fire guy?
Charmeleon. Bro, don't test me. Don't test me on the 150 originals. I will take you to school, homeboy.
Okay. I'm going to smell the beer now.
It smells very sweet, but I'm not getting a lot of hops for a beer that is 8.2. I'm not going to call it dangerous yet because we haven't tried it, but I feel like I'm getting more of like ingredients and flavor rather than how strong it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm not getting a lot of booziness. I'm definitely getting, again, the citrusness. The Citra hops are up front. This is loaded with Citra and Mosaic. Classic combination, the standard combination. We see it all the time.
This is like the OG's older brother. This was a perfect pairing for this episode.
The wild card here is that Wildflower Honey that's in there.
Yeah.
Which I don't get a whole lot of honey on the nose. I mean, that's a very specific thing to get, but I do get some florality, and I think the honey is probably adding that.
Correct. Yeah, I was actually just about to say that. I'm not getting a lot of honey. I feel like we're going to get a lot of honey on the taste, maybe. I'm not getting a lot on the smell, but there is a little bit of that. There's a little bit of the grassiness, but there is a little bit of that florality. It's not really like we've had beers that it's like, ooh, this smells like lavender. This smells like this flower. I mean, this one, it's got like a hint. It's kind of like a perfume. Like you just get a little bit of it. It's like, oh,
yeah, it's a subtle kiss of
a kiss, if you will,
of lavender is what I would say. Like a floral thing alongside, again, orange, grapefruit, melon, grapefruit rind, a little bit of dankness or, some earthiness, but not a lot of booze on the nose. To say nothing of the taste.
Let's see what the taste does.
Cheers.
Ba-bam. Alvarium. We love you. Well.
I do believe we have a DEIPA.
I do believe we got a DEIPA. And this DEIPA tastes sweet and creamy. The honey is definitely there. Definitely there. It's not overpowering. It doesn't steal the show, but it improves the show. It really accents the beer really well. It kind of creates a nice balance between the sweetness and the hoppiness of it. I might want to call this one dangerous. I don't know if this tastes like 8.2. This tastes more like the 6-7 range.
Yeah, I mean, compared to the last one, I definitely get a boozy feel on it. It is full-bodied. It's got a little bit more bite. But I would agree. I don't drink it and go, gotta take my time with this. Like, it's, again, pretty well balanced. I think the citrus notes are there. Again, and, not to beat that horse to death, but it's the orange, melon, tangerine, rind, grapefruit, all that stuff. There's a good earthiness to it. When you say the honey is really there, what I agree, but I want to say that it's not like, I don't drink this and get sweet. Like honey is a sweet thing, right? I don't drink it and get and get a whole lot of sweetness. I drink it and get a lot of florality, a lot of lavender, a lot of those botanicals, and I think that's coming out of the honey because it is wildflower honey. I think that's what that comes from. Yeah,
and I mean, when I said the honey is definitely there, it's not, like I said, it's not overpowering. It's just enough.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of honey, this beer won medals in both 2019 and 2020 in the IPA category of the National Honey Board's Honey Beer Competition. The co-founder and head brewer Chris describes it as softer and juicier. I've never heard of this category of competition, honey beer competition. That sounds incredible. I would love to be a judge and taste all of those, but this one is definitely a winner in my book.
I feel like if you were a judge in the honey beer competition, you'd get a lot of mead and the occasion.
Yeah.
Isn't mead like a drink made with honey?
Yeah,
and it's sweet. That's why I want to say, like, this is not This is not sweet. This is not mead at all. It's more...
It's got sweetness, but it's not like, oh, that's sweet. Yeah, I would agree. And also, just based off of our friendship, every time I think of mead, I think of 5-year engagement. When he makes the mead and Chris Pratt's character just goes, it's making my teeth hurt.
Gabe, we are talking about a movie that you and I have seen and no one else has seen.
So what? It's our podcast. We can talk about whatever we want.
It's one of my favorites, but no one's seen it.
Well, they should.
In the mouth, I think, again, it's full-bodied. I think it's a little sticky. I think it's more creamy, like you said, but definitely a little dangerous, like you said, because it's boozy-ish, but it doesn't taste as boozy as it is.
For those of you on YouTube, these are the two beers next to each other. They're very, very similar. This one is definitely the older brother of this one. I mean,
yeah,
it really is.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely my favorite of the two. I think this is delicious. I really like this. It's not a double IPA that like blows me away with how crazy it is. Because it's not. It's a Citra Mosaic double IPA with a little bit more florality than I'm used to, a little bit more pith, a little bit more earthiness than I'm used to coming from the honey, which I think is a nice touch. It's very well balanced. But if you're an IPA lover, there's 0% chance these will let you down.
Look no further. I mean, this is where you need to go. You need to go to this company. Alvarium knows what's up. They know their IPAs, and it's really great. It really is. I would agree. I think out of the two, my favorite is the Honeyshot. I think it's just overall taste is a little bit better. I think obviously it's a little boozier, but I mean, boozier, the amount of ABV doesn't always play a factor for me. I mean, I could drink a 4% and be like, oh, I choose this over the 7, that doesn't play the factor, but it's flavorful. It's literally the OG just amplified.
Yeah, this Honeyshot will shoot a thick load of sweet honey nectar out of its 7-inch.
Yay! I didn't know what to say. I was just going to let you go. I was like, let's see how long you can keep this up.
I'm feeding off the energy I'm receiving, okay? This is not... I'm in their... This is their house. I'm just playing in it, okay?
Clearly, you're sitting right there.
We have a new segment this week that we're going to debut, a new weekly segment, and we're going to get into it right now.
Can Art and Crafts.
Here's what we are doing. Every week, we've noticed that Gabe is kind of the art guy around here. He's the guy who seems to like can artwork more than any. He always focuses on it. So every week, we're going to give Gabe a platform for a couple minutes without the adults in the room where he can talk about whatever he wants to talk about related to the artwork of the brewery. Gabe, you have the floor.
So, the Honeyshot can is great. It's got the 1950s vibe. It's very fun and bright. It's very playful and colorful and hilarious, obviously. I think it gets to the point. It reminds me of like an old burlesque poster, and it makes a lot of sense. I think it sticks out. I think the colors are bright, like I said. It says wow in the corner. Wow. I think the writing on the can is a little hard to read, but it's so worth it if you try it. But, I mean, here's the thing. In preference of beer, I picked the Honeyshot. In preference of can, bruh, come on, look at this. There's something about gold on a dark background that just works for me, whether it's gray or black. But, I mean, the Platinum OG, I mean, this can is what you want in a can. It's got gold. It's shiny. I mean, look at that. It's got the logo just bright right in front of you. This is a can that if you've seen the photos online of my apartment, Steven's former apartment, like we save all the beer, the cool beer cans. We're absolutely, well, I'm going to say both of these, but this one's going up on the wall. I'm going to take one down and put this one up because it's so dope. I just love how much it pops. I love the like It's got like the jewels in it. It really just makes a lot of sense. I did a little deep diving into the artwork, couldn't find much, but whoever is the marketing manager, producer of this brewery has got it right with these two. I think they're great. And my favorite right now, the Platinum OG. If I had a chain, I'd be biting it like the logo, but I don't. So, oh, wait. I'm wearing one. Here we go. Ready? Arr. I don't do it justice, but you get it. And with that, that is my take on the can artwork.
Well, I said he had the floor. No
and I
adults in the
didn't
room.
mention him. But
did it.
my artistic endeavors come from my friend Bob Ross. He's been here with me this whole time, and that's where he'll be making appearances and judging the can artwork as well. And he agrees with me. He picks the OG for better can.
He has to be with you every week. And if you're not watching on YouTube, you missed out on several. I would advise you to just go over to our YouTube channel and just watch just that bit, even if you
just fast forward to whatever minute we're 40 something. Check it out.
So what else does Alvarium have to offer you, especially if you're not into IPAs? Well, they have plenty. I chose to shout out their Oatmeal Stout that they have on right now, which is a Oatmeal Stout called Heavy Metal, but it's spelled weird with weird symbols. Don't worry about how it's spelled. The point is, they call it a badass Oatmeal Stout, hopped exclusively with Gabe. Tettnang!
They got that there Tettnang and that Heavy Metal, that Oatmeal Stout, that Tettnang.
And here's the thing. This Oatmeal Stout is 6.66% ABV, and this is episode 66 of The Hop. How creepy is that?
Oh, no.
We don't have a devil drop. I don't really know what to play for that. It felt like we should,
Montana!
Until we go.
That made no sense. Everyone's confused. It's funny
until
for us.
Until we go, that'll represent the devil.
Hey, Steven, did you see the beer that's immediately under it? It's called the Cluster Nutter. It's a salted peanut butter cup porter. Yay! Where's the drop?
Yay!
He's so pissed. Look at him.
I saw it, Gabe. I saw it.
Did you? I also saw
it.
A beer called the Crunchy Roll, which is a Japanese rice lager, which I thought was very, very clever.
Cracker maltiness blends with pleasant lemongrass character.
Yeah.
Cool.
Japanese Sorachi Ace hops.
Yeah, that's so they have some, a lot of New England IPAs. No West Coast IPAs. Alvarium. What are we doing here?
But one of their beers, the Cremo Ale, anywhere I've read online about this company, all they've talked about was the Cremo Ale is like one of the what am I trying to say? One of like the original like new like IPA.
Well,
it's an ale. It's not an IPA.
It's an American ale, but says
it's one of their originals, and it's really, really good, and it's all anyone talks about.
Yeah, it's probably one of their flagships, if not their flagship, because it says New Britain's original beer is back.
I'm sorry, I'm stammering. I've been drinking. These beers are not for the lighthearted.
Well, you just crunched on your chain, so I forgive you.
Dude, we're getting wild this episode.
They have hard seltzer as well that they make, and then they bring in, if you're someone who's visiting this beautiful space and you're not into beer, they bring in cider, they bring in non-alcoholic options and other stuff from around the state of Connecticut, so they have something for everybody. But if
cider?
You're into exactly. So if you're into IPAs, you're definitely going to want to check them out. And if you're not into IPAs, they have stuff to offer you as well, including a oatmeal stout from the devil himself and a peanut butter stout, which by definition means it also comes from the devil.
Bang! Exclamation. All right, whatever.
Shut up.
Should we talk about this fun topic?
Yes, we should.
I can't wait.
I didn't know what this was about. I had just seen some images going around social media of Cinnamon Toast Crunch but all the crunch was like shrimps. And I was like, what's happening? Is there a new marketing campaign I'm not aware of? But also, I didn't care enough to look into it until this moment, and now it's our fun topic for the week. So what happened was this guy in LA opened a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal and found shrimp tails in it.
He found shrimp tails in his cereal.
Yeah, his name is Jensen Karp. He's a writer and TV producer, and he tweeted at Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which I'm not a big social media guy, and this is the beauty of social media right here. Like 15 years ago, if you found if you found shrimp tails in your Cinnamon Toast Crunch, there'd be no one to call. There's nothing.
Yeah, it's just your problem. Like you wouldn't have anyone to complain to.
But now you can tell the world, and this went viral, and people got in on it. And the first thing that happened was that Cinnamon Toast Crunch reached out to him and asked him to DM them. And then they got back to him saying, after further investigation, it appears to be an accumulation of cinnamon sugar that sometimes can occur when ingredients aren't thoroughly blended. Now, if you haven't seen the picture, I have eaten shrimp before. Gabe. Yes, Gabe.
I have my hand raised for
His
those
hand
of
is
you not
raised.
on YouTube. I have thoughts on this. I'm going to let you finish, and then I'm just going to go into my tangent, but go ahead.
I've eaten shrimp before, and I know what they look like, and I know what the tails look like, and if cinnamon sugar happened to coagulate in this perfect shrimp-like form, then this man should take a picture of that, and it should be on display at MoMA, because it's the most amazing thing that's ever happened in sugar.
You basically took the words right out of my mouth, because I was going to say one of my favorite foods is fried shrimp. I love it fried. I love coconut shrimp. I love shrimp cocktails. I am a big shrimp guy. I know what shrimp looks like. If I found shrimp in my cereal, shrimp tails in my cereal, those are shrimp tails. The fact that some intern at Cinnamon Toast Crunch headquarters HQ had to tweet back at this guy and go, accumulation of cinnamon sugar. Are you kidding me? What are you smoking, dude?
Having worked customer service, I can promise you what happened was somebody went to their boss and said, hey, this guy found shrimp tails in his Cinnamon Toast Crunch. The boss was not interested and said, tell him it's cinnamon sugar, and hoped it would go away. And the intern had to go back and be like, I guess it's cinnamon sugar. And then, of course, this guy didn't go away. He came back and said, I wasn't mad until you decided to try and gaslight me, which I love.
Okay, well, after further investigation with my eyes, these are cinnamon-coated shrimp tails, you weirdos. This guy deserves an award. Jensen Karp.
What I love is he's not rude about it. He's not being a jerk. He's just like, what is happening right now?
Yeah,
like, why is there shrimp?
Why is there seafood in my cereal? That doesn't belong. And then, if you keep going, I guess he bought 2 boxes, and his wife opened the other bag, and they found, like, dental floss, and the other bag was, like, taped up.
Yeah, and they bought them.
What are we doing here?
They bought them at Costco, and eventually, if you go down the rabbit hole, they come to the theory that somehow a rat got in there and left behind droppings and other things. So it may not be Cinnamon Toast Crunch's fault. In fact, it's probably not.
But it's hilarious.
But it's very funny.
It made our fun topic this week, and we're not gonna not talk about it.
I would, if Mr. Karp is listening, I would question the Costco you go to in addition to the Cinnamon Toast Crunch company you bought it from. Because it sounds like the Costco might have a infestation problem, as well as employees who are aware of the infestation problem and are taping up boxes.
This is also where I've currently landed, unfortunately. It makes me want to wash my mouth out with acid.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? That's what he tweeted. That's hilarious. Yeah, and I guess General Mills and Cinnamon Toast Crunch said they were looking into it. They didn't comment any further, but Is this the third week? So this is the third week in a row that I talked about Iowa. Is this the third week in a row we talked about cereal?
Well, yes, it is, but that's not our fault. That's the fault of one specific member of our company, and
they're magically delicious.
There he is.
Also from the General Mills family, I believe. So it's on brand.
So yeah. So it makes sense. It does its job, and I just think this is so funny how they tried to cover it up. It's like, no, trust me. I know what shrimp looks like. That's shrimp. That is shrimp tails. I don't know.
Well, so Jensen Karp, apparently he tweeted that he's taking these tails to a lab in LA to test them for DNA to confirm that they are in fact shrimp, which,
I mean, if you look at the photos, like, yeah.
they shrimp. It's shrimp.
But what's hilarious is they are covered in sugar, so they kind of look like candy.
Yeah, I would never. Do you understand me? I would never eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch again. It would ruin, and I know it's not their fault, but there's no chance I could ever pop open another bag of Cinnamon Toast Crunch and not remember the time that I would at least think there was something wrong. Like I'm too much of a germaphobe for that. I would be like, I had milk that went bad once. It got lumpy, and now every time I pour milk ever,
you like stare at it.
I'm like, I am watching it like a hawk. Like I'm terrified of sour milk.
You have to. And I'm the same way. Like I don't think I've ever had Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and it's not my go-to cereal. Hashtag Honey Bunches of Oats coming through. But like,
what?
Oh yeah, you don't like Honey Bunches of Oats?
No. That, do not hear what I'm not saying. I love Honey Bunches of Oats.
Oh, okay.
But you just lost our whole audience by saying that Honey Bunches of Oats is the best cereal, and you've never had Cinnamon Toast Crunch. What?
It is the best cereal. It is. Fight me.
Objectively, it's not.
Fight me. What's the best? I don't eat breakfast.
I don't eat breakfast, and I definitely don't eat cereal. But if I was gonna do a draft of cereals, the 101 would easily be. I mean, it would be somewhere in the range of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and nowhere in the range of Honey Bunches of Oats.
Bro, you're missing out. You don't know what's
bumping
up
on Cheerios.
No. Honey Bunches of Oats. They've got their flavor. They've got their big clusters, and it's cinnamon. Oh, it's so good. And I eat it with almonds. You can't because you'll die.
I like Honey Bunches of Oats, but I'm just saying you're objectively wrong.
No, I'm not. It's the best cereal, and I know you love playing the little drop guy, but Lucky Charms ain't gonna cut it.
Lucky Charms, the marshmallows are gross, but this is the second week in a row. I feel like we need to tweet this clip out and just get the universe to tell you how wrong you are. There's no way that Honey Bunches of Oats is the objective 101 I can't eat Reese's Puffs. Would you take Honey Bunches of Oats or Reese's Puffs?
That one I would have to think about.
I can't even believe you.
All right, so what's your favorite cereal? What's the best? What's the number one?
It probably would be Cocoa Puffs would be up there. Cinnamon Toast Crunch would be up there. I mean, it's got to be something sugar. Apple Jacks are even better than. It's got to be something sugary. I don't like to eat that. Like
Apple Jacks. What are you, 7?
It makes the milk good, bro.
All right.
Yes.
I'll try.
Anyone who eats cereal is 7. It's made for 7-year-olds.
I eat cereal now. What are you talking about? I'll try Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That'll be our next YouTube video.
You can't judge it based on what you would eat now, because my answer now would be Cheerios, because I am a generally, believe it or not, as we drink beer, I'm a generally healthy person. So I would rather eat Cheerios. Personally, I don't eat a lot of sugar, but if I was a it would not be Honey Bunches of Oats. It's not to any. That's like Honey Bunches of Oats, Cheerios, Kicks. That's the world you're in right now.
Bro, you're missing out. You're
like
living
Honey Bunches of Oats. That's not the point.
You clearly don't. You don't like it enough. You're not. You're like a bandwagon like sports fan. Like you just joined because they won the championship.
Honey Bunches of Oats. If you're talking sports, Honey Bunches of Oats are easily like the Steelers. Like they're not my favorite, and they're also not winning championships all the time. But like you don't hate them. They're not horrible. Like they're okay. But like
they make the playoffs.
Yeah, they get there, but like it's not pretty, and it's not the way you wanted it to happen, and it's just sort of there, and we all tolerate it, and that's it.
Now let me ask you this: Frosted Flakes, yay or nay?
Delicious.
Okay.
Absolutely Frosted Flakes.
I agree.
See, Frosted Flakes would be in the category for 101 because it's like if somebody
sugary.
had it's like if somebody had cornflakes and then said, let's make this good.
Hey, let's make this okay with everyone.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Oh wow, we have to go.
Do we? Do we though?
Alvarium Brewing out of New Britain, Connecticut. IPA lovers, check them out. Other people, check them out as well. We love them, and I'm gonna enjoy these IPAs for the rest of the night. So.
Thank you guys so much for joining us for another great round of beer drinking. We will be back next Thursday, as always, with another great brewery. We're excited already, and maybe our next fun topic will be even better than cinnamon toast shrimp.
Troll Gabe, Gaberade67 on Instagram, Twitter, and we will see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.